Let's move on to Syria now. The UN says entire families were killed in Syria's coastal region during clashes between the new authorities and members of the Alawite community, which is mostly loyal to the former president Bashar al-Assad. The UN Human Rights Office says it so far documented the killing of over 100 civilians, mostly in summary executions, and it expects that final figure to be much higher. We have been speaking to a spokesperson who told us the killings appeared to have been sectarian. War monitors are putting the number of dead at just under 1,100. On Monday as well, another development to bring you is that the new government reached a deal with Kurdish forces to integrate them into the country's institutions. The Syrian leader, Ahmed al-Shara, and the leader of the Syrian Democratic Forces, Mazloum Abdi, said the deal would establish a ceasefire across Syria and integrate all institutions in the northeast into the Syrian state. Two big developments. So let's speak to our correspondent in Damascus, Lena Sinjab, who joins us from there. Firstly, Lena, I've been speaking to the UN about the investigation they've done. They're confirming 100 people have been killed, Alawites, in sectarian killings, but acknowledge that that figure is going to be much higher. What are the latest sort of eyewitness testimonies that you've heard from that part of Syria?
Well, so far, the situation have calmed down, according to eyewitnesses in various parts of the coastal cities. And the Ministry of Defense itself announced that they've stopped the operation where there were clashes between remnants of the Assad regime. I've just been talking to one resident who fled his home in Banyas, and he said that, security enforcement, there are checkpoints around. There's checkpoints around to protect people from any attacks, and there are also efforts by the investigative committee to investigate what's happening and the killing that happened over the past 3 days. This is by order of the interim president Ahmed al-Shara, and there is a lot of work happening on the ground. Also, not only to arrest those who've been involved in the killing, but even they're targeting people who are sending, hate messages or inciting sectarianism online. So really, the government has taken by surprise by members of its own forces conducting these kind of crimes, and they are trying to work on topic.
And Lena, in terms of this deal that has now been agreed with the SDF, how much does that help bring security to the country?
Well, this is a very important breakthrough deal that happened, yesterday. The situation with the Kurdish Democratic Forces was really sending a lot of concern for the country, and the interim president have been calling to join forces, and that's what happened yesterday, and happened at a time where really everyone in the country was really concerned about the safety, the unity of the country, and at the time where some voices were calling for international protection for minorities and the coastal side. So this step and this announcement, and coming out from here, from Damascus, that there would be one army, one group together protecting the rights of the Kurds, also is a breakthrough. Remember that the Kurds never enjoyed any equal during the time of Assad, so that's really an achievement.
Lena, thank you so much for joining us. Lena Sinjab there in Damascus.